just over 10 years ago when she got into SC in the first place. And when Casey got into SC, she got into play tennis. And we live in Los Angeles, and Venus and Serena Williams were the inspirations for Casey to take
Yes.
up tennis in the first place. Well, what happened was I was friends with Andy Roddick, the tennis pros agent.
Wow.
And Andy's agent has said, hey, Mark, I know your daughter's about to go to college. Let me get you players' passes, coaches' passes for the Madrid, Spain Open. Well, if you know tennis, you know that the Madrid Open is a clay court championship that takes place in the May timeframe. It's, next month. It leads into the French Open. And all the famous men and women that we recognize are playing in this tournament. So Casey and I said, yes, we're in, let's go. So here we are in Madrid. We've got these backstage, players' passes. It's the day before the tournament's about to start. We want to see just how close our passes will get us. So we show up in the registration area of the tournament. And it's like walking into a large, almost like a Las Vegas style lobby of a hotel. Big open area, high ceilings with 2 staircases in the back where you can tell the players go up to have their massages and their lockers and their meals. Well, it's the day before the tournament and it's empty. There's no one around. I'm going, what the heck? But off in the corner, I see somebody that I recognize. I don't know him, but I recognize him. It's Richard Williams. It's Venus and Serena's father and their coach at the time. Well, I don't know Richard. Casey doesn't know Richard, but they're from LA and so are we. So, Richard, I'm Marc Reede. I'm from Los Angeles. This is my daughter, Casey. Casey just got into college to play tennis, and your daughters were her inspiration to play tennis in the first place. He says, hang on one second. Venus, Serena. So at the top of that staircase, here's these 2 girls. Girls, come down. I want you to meet somebody. Well, the story doesn't end there because the next night, Venus had her opening round match against a girl from Madrid. And there wasn't anyone in the house in that stadium that was rooting for Venus Williams playing against a local girl except us.
Yeah.
Well, we were sitting up there. We were sitting up, high in the rafters. Great shot. Nice serve. I mean, you knew where the roots for Venus were coming. It's from us. So the match ends. Venus beats the girl in straight sets. And if you watch tennis, you know that players typically will put all their stuff in their bags and zip up the bag and go off in their own little exit. And, that's the end of the show, right? Well, Casey knew this. So as the match ends, everyone's leaving the stadium, coming up the stairs towards us. Casey goes down the stairs. I can't even see her anymore because I know she just wants to get as close as she can to her new friend to say congratulations. Well, now my eyes turn over to Venus, and I'm watching Venus as she zips up her bag, and she looks up at me, and she mouths the words, "Where's Casey?" Well, I was floored, and I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it right now. But so I point, she's down there. I didn't know exactly where she was, but I knew the area she was. I see Venus get up and run over toward where Casey is. Now 5 minutes goes by. Seems like an eternity. Here comes Casey, tears coming down her eyes, holding Venus's tournament towel that you can't buy.
Wow.
So now we're leaving the stadium, and in the lobby of the stadium, once again, I see Richard Williams. And I tell him this story. Richard takes Casey and me in a group hug, and he says, Mark, if you had told me my daughter just played a great match, I would have said, thank you very much. That's her job. That's why she works out so hard every single day. But he says, a long time ago, I taught my daughters to touch one person in life, show them you care, share your gift, and look what can happen.